Hi, everybody. Oh, gosh. Just nailed my microphone. Oh, wow. How's it going? Wow. Okay, we're here. We're live. And yes. It's so good to be back. It's so good. I need y'all to be very, very helpful tonight. If you hear any sound glitches, if the video is weird, let me know. That's the thing. It's been crazy, I will tell you. And I have had some pretty significant tech challenges. Not really like, ever since I moved into this house, I always had some weird internet issues, and I finally just dug in, and I will get into some of that as we get into the stream. But the good news is literally last night, like as of 11:30 last night, I think is when I finally finished it, and I was like, I think it's fixed. And here we are. So we're live. So I am actually using Firefox tonight, which is a key factor in this. Again, I'm going to get into a little bit of it. Oh, the trailer. Yes. Okay, good. It worked. I wasn't even sure. I've never done that before. So yeah, this is the awkward comeback. Welcome to the awkward comeback of 2026. That's what we're going to call it. Okay. So I just want to chat with you guys tonight. I'm going to hang out, going to just figure some stuff out. So if you watched the trailer, then basically you already know that what we're going to be doing tonight is I'm just going to be looking at what I have. I've got so much crap, and it was all disassembled. When I say disassembled, I mean every cable was unplugged, every device was unplugged, packed in plastic totes and put away. I had to put it away, and I just was like, I can't even look at it. I just don't know what I want to do. I'm not sure what the next phase looks like. And that was months ago. So I slowly have been, I got the computer set back up, one monitor was there. I literally just plugged in the second monitor 1 minute before we started this stream. But anyway, my point is that I literally am like, I'm not just going to go back to the way I was doing it. I'm not going to set it all up the way I was. So tonight I thought, let's just kind of like assess the situation, figure out maybe what we want to do. And also I'm just going to start a list because y'all, it's been a long time and things have changed. I mean, StreamYard itself has had a lot of developments. I've tried to kind of, pay attention. By the way, I am going live with StreamYard. So that is what we're using. Hopefully you see a significant improvement in the video quality right now, because I will tell you, they finally updated and upgraded basically like the video encoding and all that. And it is, in my opinion, significantly better. So definitely excited about that. That's a huge win. And yeah, so anyway, we'll get into whatever you guys want to get into. But I just thought I'm just gonna kind of go through some stuff. I might set some things up while we're live. Just again, tinkering. I'll get some music going here in a minute. And we're just going to hang out. So I'd love to hear how you guys are doing. I see some really great comments coming in, so I'm going to start getting acclimated with you guys and catch up with you a little bit. But that's the plan for tonight. So I'm going to get some music going here in a minute. We'll chat. You can ask me some questions. I'm curious what's going on in your world. What have you discovered? What's your favorite new stuff that you're doing? And like I said, I'm just going to start working on a list. Like one item on my list is to clean up my studio, meaning my virtual studio. So inside StreamYard, getting rid of the old files, like the old little videos, and like, I'm not going to just go use the old stuff again. I need to refreshen it up, right? So we need to freshen things up. And so cleaning that up, I know I need to get my OBS completely revamped and redone. I will probably not mess with that live. That is something I'd rather do not live, because I just kind of want to wipe it all out and then restart again with that, because a lot of times I like to use the OBS virtual camera, which makes, combined with the Stream Deck, it makes camera switching easy. But again, there's new features in StreamYard that I need to make sure I'm acclimated with. And so I'm just going to make a list. I'm going to start making a list of stuff so that I can kind of be, hey, make sure you dig into that. Hey, dig into this, dig into that. Canva, Jennifer was on here in the comments a little bit ago. She's, it sounds like it's going to be a little bit past her bedtime, so I don't think she's going to be here with us. But, I need to get reacclimated with Canva, because I know all the basics still, of course, but it's also got lots of cool new features and stuff. So I need to make sure I'm very aware of that. Oh, good. She's here. Jennifer's here. So, So yeah, let me just say hi to everybody. I know that Davidson's Gym, I think is what it was. Dang is what the channel's called now. Earlier said that they also had their stream tonight. So it's always good to see y'all come back, and I really appreciate seeing the familiar faces. And that's this stream tonight. There aren't going to be any new people coming in. I mean, there might be some new people, I suppose. If you have found yourself subscribing to my channel in the in-between, as we'll call it, welcome. My name is Melanie Diane Howe, and yeah, we're just going to tinker around. So, and then I saw that Robin's Egg Blue Creations. Yeah, guess who's back again? Yeah, I am. Again, we're just going to do the awkward comeback. We're just going to kind of jump in and kind of hang out here. So, Packers 2015. What's up, my friend? Let's see. Oh, so yeah. So the trailer, I've never done one of those ever. I've seen people do them. I don't even know if people really still do them. I remember seeing them. I know Nick Nimmin, I feel like he used to do them every once in a while. By the way, Nick and Dee were live this morning. I was putting together a piece of office furniture for my, like a monitor riser for my actual office upstairs. And I was watching them on the big screen. And that was really cool to kind of just get caught up. Because that's the other thing that's crazy is when I say I step back, I like stopped watching YouTube even because, you know, when you're watching something that is something you used to do or the kind of content you used to consume, I would say like, oh, that's a really cool new camera, and I'm like, you know, like it was creating this like feeling, but it was also creating a negative feeling too. So I kind of just stopped even watching a lot of content until recently. Recently, I've been coming back and watching stuff. I would pop in every once in a while, but recently I've been consuming YouTube content again. So there's some things I'm seeing that are interesting. But the trailer that I played, I thought, well, let's just try it. Why not? That's the thing. It's the awkward comeback. I'm just going to try crap. It's going to be sloppy. You know me, scrappy doesn't always mean crappy, but we might just be doing stuff a little sloppy just to play around. So that's the point. And so I thought I recorded that like at 7:30, I think 7:30 I recorded it. You have to upload it as an actual piece of video content, and then you just make it the trailer. It's an unlisted video out there, but there you go. Rob the Maritimer is here as well. Hello, it's good to see you. Typical Tyreek is here. Yes, he says, hopefully you're back for good, LOL. Was hoping for the countdown and music. The music. Let's get to that. Yeah. So I just decided, you know, I didn't want to mess with the countdown tonight because I just kind of wanted to get in here because again, the whole point of this is honestly, we're just sort of, we're just kind of jumping back in, right? We're awkwardly jumping back in. So this is sort of the very first stream I have done in a very long time. I'm pretty sure it's been over a year, you guys, which is insane. I will look here in a minute, but I'm pretty sure it's been a long time, that long. But anyway, so watching from Canada, what's up? Good to see you here. Thanks for tuning in, for sure. Let's see. She says, January last year, I stepped back from YouTube. I had to regroup. Will start within the next month. That's awesome. Okay, here's what's crazy. So first of all, January, in my opinion, is almost always a month of resetting. It's almost always a month where people, you know, it's like, oh, you get back on track, whether it's fitness, dieting, business, you know, whatever it is. But January is always like there's a lot of critics out there about it, you know, like even like, for example, you know, I'll be at the gym and people will be complaining and they're like, oh, here come all the New Year's resolution people. And it's like, so what? You should want them to be in here. And you know what? You should hope that they stick with it. And you should foster an environment that makes them want to keep coming back. And I don't like that. I'm all for whether it's because of the new year or whatever reasons they may be. But I love January. January does have that vibe of starting fresh, resetting, even if you don't believe in New Year's resolutions. It's just a cool cycle in the cycle that we have to just take that moment or take those moments and reflect and think about where you want to go from here. So I love it. So Sharon, you are not alone. I am seeing a lot of people talking about this. In fact, that's one of the things I wanted to say is this morning on, if I keep bumping this microphone, you guys, this morning when Dee and Nick Dimon were streaming, there were a lot of people in the comments that were talking about this, like how they've stepped back. They let go. Even Nick was talking about it. He was talking about how He always has seen the best results when he's really consistent, and he's not always consistent, and he's been struggling for a while, and he's hoping to he's trying to create a plan right now. And here's what's crazy is as I've been looking around on YouTube especially the last few days, there's all kinds of people that have stopped. People I didn't realize stopped, or right around when I did even. And it's like, what? Okay, this is interesting. There's I'm not going to really name any names because I don't want to make it seem like I don't know, I just don't want to. But like, there's a lot of creators out there that haven't been creating content for over a year. I mean, I'm talking like big names. There's also an interesting thing going on in the world of, just people selling courses and online business. I mean, the creator economy has changed, and we knew it was going to change. And I think a lot of people are just sort of like regrouping and like, okay, wait a minute. It's not that the juice isn't necessarily worth the squeeze. It's just, am I squeezing the right fruit, to get the juice? And I literally just made that up. And you all know, those of you who've been around, I got my melisms. I just make up the analogies as we go. So that's what we've got. So Sharon says, yeah, she said, sound like I got to reacquaint myself with StreamYard and Canva. Sharon, honestly, it's not, if you used it, you'll be fine. It's not that different. There's just some new stuff, and there's some opportunities, I think, for us to utilize some new things. Now, I will say Canva, they love to move some things around. So that might take a little bit. And as Jennifer said, the Creator Classroom, if you're not already following Jennifer, make sure you follow her because she's the Canva resident expert around here. So for sure. Marianne, hello. I have caught a few of your streams, Marianne. Marianne has not stepped back, guys. She's stuck with it. She has done a great job. She's actually shifted over to Ecamm. I noticed that, Marianne, and you look like you're doing great. You look like you're loving your content. You're out there still. Your stuff shows up. I love seeing you out there, and it's fantastic. And your camera always looks great, and I just love it. So I'm so glad that you're here and hanging out with us for hopefully a little while here. So Sharon says, I'm a retired teacher. September was always my fresh restart. So I love that too, because August, I always say August. So when I used to do workshops locally and also virtually, August and January were my favorite months of the year to do those workshops because it's when people wanted to do it. To your point, that August timeframe, kids go back to school. That's it. It's like kids go back to school, time for new routines, back to routines, get some structure. People are like, all right, let's go. Summer's over. Like, time to get my crap in gear. And January's the same way. So yes, I really think there's something there for sure. So, okay, I'm going to keep the comments coming. I'm going to actually, Robin, I see your comment. I'm going to touch on that too. And yeah, so I'm just glad everybody's here. So what I wanted to do is I wanted to get a little bit of music going. One of the things too that I have to also check in on is, oh my gosh, do I even still have subscriptions to some of these things? So I looked today. I was thinking that my epidemic sound was done, but it's not. So we are good to go there. Now, one thing I will say, I think I'm going to be good. I want to check my audio settings really quick. I don't have headphones in, and to be really honest with you, I don't feel like putting headphones in because I'm going to probably be moving around a little bit, and I just kind of didn't really want to mess with it. So I think I might turn on echo cancellation, but you guys need to tell me if that affects anything. So sometimes these audio settings, especially when you're using applications like I'm using Wavelink still. Let me know if it does anything weird, because sometimes when I start messing with settings, it either changes it or it makes it do wonky things. So let me know. Oh, kids go back in September, Canada. That's the way it used to be around here too. That's hilarious. So the lava lamp has absolutely been in a cabinet, and I literally grabbed it on my way downstairs. So I grabbed it on my way down to come down here to do this stream. So we're going to be plugging that bad boy in. I have two of them. The other one needs a bulb change, but that one still works. So I love it. Okay. So typical Tyreek said, you're so right. Everyone has that burnout phase of being a content creator, just a setback for a major comeback. Oh, I love that. Ooh, that's so good. Setback for a major comeback. I like that. That's really good. In fact, I'm going to write that one down. I'm writing that one down. setback for a major, oh God, my handwriting is terrible, comeback. Okay. There you are, Lawrence. Good to see you. I was waiting for you. You said you were going to be here. So good to see that you're here. Also somebody that has been around for quite some time and still doing great things out there for sure. So we're kind of just getting started, Lawrence. So I'm assuming that's you, Lawrence, Park Brothers, the Disney tours. Okay. So I'm going to play some music. Okay. For a second, it was weird. That's probably when I did the switch. So again, let me know. You guys have to help me, okay? Help me out tonight. Just because I will get into some of the tech challenges and something I discovered. If you are a StreamYard user, this is something you need to pay attention to. I am going to touch base on a couple of those things, why I'm back. The internet was one major thing. And then there was a non-internet issue that this whole time I thought it was my internet, and there was another issue. If you're using Chrome, especially with StreamYard, then stay tuned because I'm going to touch base on it. And I'm not going to get near as geeky as I was last night because you'll glaze over and need a nap after I get done explaining it if I explain all the details. So let me get in here. I got to open up my Wavelink app, actually. Get that going. Okay. And I have my Stream Deck. I have my Stream Deck Plus with the docking station hooked up as well. So that should be, yeah, I'm just making sure I don't want to have any crazy echo stuff. So we're going to, okay, that needs to be turned off. No, that needs to be on. Okay, we're doing a test. You guys tell me if it sounds terrible. Be quick in the comments. I'll let you know when I start playing some music. I found a channel I kind of liked earlier, and I want to kind of use it. I think we're just going to have some vibey music to start. I don't want to be distracted with like really good music. I did find a playlist I really liked that is, hold on, let me get over here. Screen 1, right? No, I want screen 2. That's weird. Okay. So you should see, there we go. Basically, I was looking at Epidemic Sound. That's what I love to use. Good night, Jennifer. Love it. Good night, Jennifer. Thanks for being here. And they've got these creator picks. And so they're just kind of curated playlists, right? Based on different creators. So like, for example, there's, now her name's eluding me. She's a really wonderful YouTuber that's out there. And she's always posting content constantly. What is her name? Probably says it right here. Yeah, Meredith Marsh. I was like, is it Marsh something? But anyway, I really like this playlist, but it's a little upbeat. So I'm going to go with the vibey background. So I'm going to get that going. And then I'm going to adjust my volume because it's going to be way too loud. Blasting you guys out probably. Yeah. Okay. Tell me how you feel with the level of the audio as it is right now, because whoa, why is that so ginormous? What just happened? That was crazy. See, these are the weird things that happen when you haven't been on your system for a while. Oh, make this window smaller, but my goodness, that was ginormous. Oh, it's still going to do it. It's because of, I'm going from this big, huge, it's the resolution over here. I don't know. We'll get this fixed, guys. These are the things that happen. These are the things that happen on the computer. Literally, these are the things that happen. So anyway, this is my listening volume that is coming out of the speakers. You should not hear echo because I've got echo cancellation off. And then this is the stream level. So if I turn this side up, you would hear it louder. So you should hear it pretty loud right now. So I am curious, like, how you guys feel about the audio level, right? That is one thing that's always a little weird. Some people play the background music really loud, and some people play it so subtle you can barely tell it's there. I like background music when you're not hearing it. Okay, good to know. Thank you. Okay, so, okay, hold on. I gotta remember this for a second. I bet I don't have it routed. Oh, I gotta route it. No, it should be working. Output. Nope, we don't want that. Stream mix. I'm thinking for a sec. I know. Maybe I'll just turn. All right, I've got it up. Okay. When I was on the Epidemic Sound screen. Like there? Oh. Okay, so Marion says, heard it when you were on the Epidemic Sound screen. I got to think about what's broken in my setup here. And there's a delay in the comments, so I get that. Let me move this over here so I can see it better. Oh, that is just, it is like doing some weird window resizing. Very, very low. Okay, so it's there. Let me just turn it up. That seems so loud. There is a volume on this side. These are the things. Okay, I hope you're here for it because that's what we're doing tonight. We're going to be just playing around with this stuff and getting these things figured out. Okay, so she says it's very, very, very low. I did just turn it up, so we'll see if it changes things. You guys are going to make me have to get my headphones out. I know it. That's probably what's happening. Let me go to my audio. You guys tell me if this changes anything. I got a feeling it's going to. Audio settings, stereo audio. You guys tell me. Tell me if it just changed again. Okay, so we'll get the music going. I like background music, and to answer your question, Sharon, I use Epidemic Sound. I've always liked it. It's got a lot of humming. Okay, we're pausing the music. We can't have humming. We can't have bad stuff. But it's not feeding correctly. Yeah, okay, so it's probably has to do with, again, these are the wonky things that happen when you have all the presets inside of your web browser application, like StreamYard or whatnot. It will get wonky when you're using an actual streaming or an audio device like the Wavelink or anything like that. So I had these problems before, I remember it. All right, so we turn the music off. I like to have music playing when you're doing a, what do I call it, like a Hangout stream, because you are going to have some dead space. You're going to be like clicking around, looking at something, reading something, changing something, moving around. And it's just nice to have it because it just sort of makes that dead air a little less dead, if you will. So, okay, let me change this up a little bit. Let me think for a minute. Let me go back into my audio settings for StreamYard. Okay, we've got the automatic adjustment. I wonder if, oh, you can't see that. So in your audio settings, as you know, you've got things like echo cancellation, you have stereo audio, you also have automatically adjust mic volume. So those are a lot of the options. Now, when you click certain things, it overrides other things. Now, automatically adjust mic volume would have been a problem. So that's not the case. I feel like I'm going to sneeze. I am. I love that little mute button on top of my mic. Okay. All right. Hello, U-Haul TV. Okay. So we're doing a tad bit of troubleshooting here. That was quick. That was a quick comment back from U-Haul TV on the sneeze. Super chat button. Nope. I'm not monetized. So no super chats. Not yet, at least. So hopefully we'll get there someday. I got a ways to go. I don't have enough watch hours because I haven't been around. So, now I'm not going to get too hung up on the music tonight because we got a few things to do, but I am going to put that on my list, right? The music, Wavelink, audio is definitely something to work on. So that's the thing I want to do tonight is go back, and when I go through these things, I'm going to be like, oh yeah, that's not working. So we got to go back and figure that out and see why it's wrong. So that... I just had a thought too, and I don't think that's going to be what it is. I know what it is. You guys, I know what it is. This is such a silly thing. Okay. Unbelievable. My voice maybe just got better, by the way. That's extremely possible that you may have just heard an improvement in my voice, in my audio. And you are going to hear music because I had the wrong input selected in StreamYard. I had the Elgato mic, not the wavelength stream, which is what the software pushes out, right? So when we have the software, the wavelength software, that is what pushes whatever that is creating. When you have the wavelength stream selected as your audio, that's what's going to be pushing out. Yes, improvement in voice. Yeah, because there are enhancers in the wavelength application that make that sound better. So, oh my goodness, we are going to have all kinds of problems with this. You know, this was an issue a long time ago, and I just forgot what it was like to have this problem. So that is where my window is right now, and I don't know how to get it out of there. But, well, now if I do play music, it's going to be way too loud. Okay, so I think if I do, oh my goodness. How do I, oh my gosh. This has to do with my monitors. So I don't remember what, so I've got this real big monitor in front of me, and then I have a little bit of a smaller monitor over here. And I think what happens is when I do drag a window over, sometimes it does that. It used to do that before. It's crazy. It makes me want to turn that monitor. If I turn that monitor off, it will come back into screen here. I'm actually going to do that temporarily so that I can see what I'm doing. Remove. I gotta go to display. Oh my gosh, monitors. We're writing stuff down. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about what happened as far as my tech issues. So basically I moved into this house almost 3 years ago. And y'all probably remember when I used to be over in the condo and I had the different setup, and then I relocated, and then I had those shelves and stuff behind me, and I never really loved that. And anyway, where I'm at now is, let's see. Ooh, no. Okay, I'm trying to get this where there we go, duplicate. We got some weird stuff going on with this stuff. I'm telling you, it's wonky. Okay. So yeah, you didn't love the shelves. I didn't. I was I hated the color of them, right? And I still want to get them painted, but that's my main office now. That was the other thing. I took everything. I was like, I can't have all my worlds here. So I have been working for a company for 4 years, now. And it's been great. It's a great job. I'm a vice president of business development. It's a wonderful job, big company. I get paid very well. They're very awesome. I love what I do. But it definitely is very consuming. It's a big role, and I have to travel a lot, and I have to be very focused. And so I kind of needed just a regular good old office. And so that was the other reason I took down all of my stuff. I was like, if I'm going to be trying to do this dual task, dual life, I can't do it in the same space. So I took it all down, knowing that eventually if I did come back, I was going to need to set it up in a different way. Now, the room I'm in now used to be occupied by my ex. This was his office. And so that's the other thing. Life changes. Life throws changes at you, right? And so I'm in the house. I have the whole house to myself. I can pick whatever room I want to do whatever in. I can paint whatever I want to paint, So I always did whatever I wanted anyway. But anyway, it's my house, and here I am. And so now I'm in this space, which is very boring right now. It's just gray walls. It's a large room, plenty of opportunity to do some really cool stuff down here. And so I basically had internet issues before. They got worse, changed the space, and the internet has always been a problem in this home. I think there's it's a larger home, and there's also I think some interference through the walls. There used to be speaker systems in every room, and like old intercom systems, and I had all that taken out, and then I had all the wires taken, like the wires are cut off. There's no, voltage to them anymore. So I thought that was the problem. Well, anyway, long story short, I finally, after multiple times with Xfinity, I had a technician that actually really did know what he was talking about, and we eliminated some potential issues. And so whenever you're dealing with any kind of tech issue or problem, really in life and anything, you always want to try to strive towards finding the cause, right? Like the root cause. And one of the ways to do that is by process of elimination. And so you can do one thing and it might just be a Band-Aid on the solution. And that's just a Band-Aid. And sometimes that Band-Aid is just fine, but you really need to get to the root cause of the problem. And so, I wanted to eliminate that it was a StreamYard problem. I wanted to eliminate that it was, like, there was a number of things. And so I did a lot of work. I've done a lot of research, and I've been doing this for a while. I've tried things and I'm like, okay, let's do a test stream. Please work. And it wasn't working. Nothing was fixing the problem. Nothing was making this work. And then it got to a point where finally this week I was like, okay, I am going to eliminate the possibility that it's the line into the house, that it's the thing in the attic, that it's this, that. So I had some wiring updates made and changes, and then that didn't fix it. It's not the modem, because they've given me like 4 modems. And so I finally was like, all right, let's upgrade the internet. So I upgraded the internet to like a 1 gigabyte service. And I also got one of those mesh systems, which a lot of people have those mesh systems. And a mesh system is where you basically it's really like having 3 wireless routers that wirelessly connect to each other. So if you have one router, and it can only push a signal so far. And then what this does is it has your router and it goes to another router, and that router can go to another router, and that router can go to another router. And so instead of having this much, let's call it, circumference of space, you have this much circumference of space. And that all depends on how you set these things up. You can set them linear. So if you want to, go linear, or if you want to go around or up, 3rd floor down to the basement, all that. Long story short, set up the mesh system. And I'm like, all right, we got all kinds of speed now. Let's do a test. Nope. Still had the same problem. And it was a massively choppy, crazy, it was like trash video, like bad, completely unusable, like pure trash. And I'm like, this is crazy. So I got on ChatGPT finally. I'm just like, this is nuts. Like, I wonder what it's going to recommend. And it was the most technical 4 hours I've ever had in my life. And even ChatGPT, it was really cool, actually. I will tell you, it was fascinating. Going through, I was typing it in. I was basically saying, hey, I have problems with, here's what's happening. My upload speed says it's 100. My download speed says it's 900. Like I should have plenty of speed here, blah, blah, blah. Like I was going through all the stuff, and I was basically saying, I use StreamYard, I upload streams, and the quality's bad. And it literally immediately was like, all right, and I did a test yesterday with OBS, and I went direct with OBS, and it was fine. I was like, okay, it's not StreamYard though, because people are using StreamYard every day. So I'm like, what is it about something in this? That's when I was like, it's something in the hard drive or the drivers or something on my computer. I also, by the way, was having the same problem on my laptop. So I put all this in ChatGPT, and it started just spitting out, here's what we think it is. It could be this, it could be the drivers. It could be NVIDIA. There's a known problem since 2023, all this crap. So anyway, long story short is what ended up happening was I ended up doing a test with Firefox, and it was just fine. It was fine, totally fine. And then when I was doing some other stuff, I realized, was it today that I realized it? I think it was today that I realized it. There's actually a setting when you go to your camera settings in StreamYard, and you are in there, underneath those, where you select what camera you want, there's that checkbox that says mirror my camera. There's a new checkbox now that says advanced restrictive firewall mode. Please read these instructions, and it takes you to a web page. First, This setting cannot be changed while in studio. Please leave and rejoin the studio to change it. Now, there's a little question thing, and when you hover over it, it says, if you're having issues with your connection, try enabling this option. This will force the use of a WebRTC relay. Now, WebRTC, I have no idea what the hell that stands for. I don't even want to look it up. I don't care. I don't want to Google it. You can Google it if you want. I don't care. But I will tell you, ChatGPT was already saying that it thinks it's something with this WebRTC. And it was explaining it to me. It was doing a really cool job of educating me. I'm not going into it though, because it's really geeky. This is an advanced option and should only be enabled if you're having issues with your connection, as it may degrade the quality of your stream. Well, I did a test with Chrome and I checked that, and guess what? Voila, it was fine. The stream quality was significantly better. I would say it was similar to what I was having before. And I was like, okay, this looks a lot better. But then when I did the Firefox one again, it was even better. So in Chrome, with that enabled, because I was having this problem, if you're not having any problems, don't even listen to what I'm saying. If you are having a weird, wonky issue, it's the same thing. Maybe this is your problem too. This, I don't know what it is. It has something to do with what Chrome does with the encoding and everything else, and something with my configuration on both my laptop and my PC, whatever. Geek stuff. But it was basically an issue in Chrome. However, if when I checked that, it works just fine. So, I'm just saying, I don't know. But I will tell you that we appear to be fixed, which is why we're here tonight. I feel like it unlocked so much by having that figured out. Now, I really don't want to get super geeky because that is so technical. I would love to do a little research and figure out if other people are having similar problems. I remember seeing some people talk about this, and somebody was like, I have really good internet and it's still really crappy. And people are like, oh, well, maybe it's your cable on your camera and maybe it's this. And I'm like, watching this, I'm thinking, I have the same problem, but it's probably that. So changed browsers. I just changed browser and it was amazing. So that's what I did. Okay. I'm going to try to fix my display settings really quick because now I've got other issues. Turn that monitor on. Okay. Ooh, I think that may have fixed it. Nope. It still wants to make that display small. There's something with the resolution on the smaller monitor versus the big monitor. And that's kind of the problem. I think if I do this, no, I don't want to do that. I'm changing the size of my, there, that might be better. It's just really interesting how when I drag a window over to the other monitor, even though the, everything looks normal over there, when I drag something over, it's like ginormous. It's like zoomed in. It should automatically scale and it's not. I've never had that. I've had that happen before, but man, not for a while. Okay, so let me see if I can get this to be a little smaller before I move it back, because I want it out of my way. Oh, huge. I don't know. We'll figure all that out some other day. Okay, so yeah. One thing I will say. Okay, let's just talk about the studio while we're here. So this room is very big. In fact, I was kind of hoping to have, where'd it go? Oh, I have that old OBS, what's it called? OBS bot camera, the one that like follows you around. I was going to try to set it up so that I could at least just grab it and show you guys the space. But I also thought about hooking up the other camera and doing the same thing, which I can do. That camera that is right there. So I have the Sony A6100 that I'm using right now. I got the Elgato Wave 3 microphone. Still, man, this thing tried and true. Sounds great, doesn't it? I was having issues with it at the end of my last chapter where it was like almost like disconnect. The mic was almost disconnecting, and it felt like the connection was going bad in it, like on the microphone or the cable or something. But I haven't had any problems right now, so that's good. But so let's see. We were thinking about trying to fix the audio, weren't we? So we could have a little music, but I don't know if we want to mess with it. It's so crazy that I had that set wrong. Oh my gosh. I like, seriously, what an amateur move. Didn't have the right output set on my inside StreamYard. Okay, we've got stereo. Yeah. Why don't I give it a shot really quick? Why don't I turn the music back on? Let's see if I just need to get my Wavelink guy over here. God knows I have enough monitor real estate that I don't technically really need that second monitor, but I like a second monitor. Whew, I do. Do you guys have 2 monitors? You guys use 2 monitors? I love 2 monitors. It's kind of required for me. By the way, I want to hear about you guys too. So don't be like making me do all the talking here, because I want to know what's going on with you guys too. So Sharon's, chatty Cathy over here, and I love it. So thank you for chiming in so much, Sharon. I love hearing all the stuff. So Robin says, yep, 2 monitors. Robin, are you using 2 cameras too? Did you ever get to that point? You were using 2 cameras, weren't you? I think you were. Also, you, I think, mentioned you hadn't used StreamYard in a while. Is that right? Is that because you're not live streaming, or just did you end up using something else? Because that's another thing. I mean, let's just get the white elephant that's in the room here, y'all. I know Marianne probably wants to chime in on this, and Lawrence, I think that you maybe even made the switch over to Ecamm. But StreamYard, they were bought by Hopin. Hopin was still operating. The same team was there. But then Hopin sold to Bending Spoons. Bending Spoons is the company that owns like Evernote and a few other things. I believe I had heard that Gage and Dan tried to actually buy StreamYard back from Hopin instead of it getting sold to Bending Spoons. And they were not able to do that. But anyway, when Bending Spoons took over, they didn't do it at first. This was predicted by lots of people out there. When you typically go through a second acquisition, all of a sudden things change. And they did. They raised the prices, which, by the way, everyone else has followed suit, as we all knew was going to happen. Restream, everybody's followed suit, raised their prices, the browser-based people. And EV Mux. Okay, yes. I dabbled with EV Mux. In fact, the EV Mux guys, I think they're fantastic. I think they're great. I think they were bleeding edge on some features with the browser-based applications. I did use it. I ran into a couple of things I didn't love. There was a couple deal breakers for me, but also there were just a couple UI things I did not. I was like happy to use it, and I was going to play around with it, but then I just ended up not streaming anymore, and I kind of stepped back from it all. But another great application. I'm glad to hear that that's still an application. But anyway, that whole change, as you guys all know, I used to create content for StreamYard on their channel. I was one of their content partners, and I loved it. And then Bending Spoons just sort of like made this big change. I mean, they doubled their price, and they didn't tell me about it. They laid off a bunch of people. They got let go of a lot of the people that were the StreamYard team, and they made these changes. And there was really not any communication with the creators, and it was a little odd, to be honest with you. And I had a call with one of them, and I was just like, "You kind of left us in the dark. Like, I don't really know what my future is, because I'm a brand ambassador. I love your community. I love your product." But you're making changes and I didn't know about it. And I'm like, I'm not sure I still feel the same way I did. And that was a problem. And it kind of set me back a little bit, So the price hike kind of just coming out of nowhere with no changes in the features was a problem for me. I actually told them, I said, my number one issue with the price hike is you have a very inferior video quality. The output is inferior to all of the competition, all of it. Including Restream. And I can show you, I've done the tests, I sent them to Dan and Gage, and it's like, everybody has higher output quality than you. And they're like, yeah, it's because the video encoder needs upgraded, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, great, do that, then change the price. Well, anyway, I am happy to see that StreamYard has done a phenomenal job of, yes, they raised their price first, and they did that because they needed to do it to get the money back into the product. And they have done a very good job of coming back to the table with a lot of improvements, feature updates. They are just constantly releasing updates. I feel like that was a problem I had with StreamYard before. They were very slow to release things. When we would look at the pipeline, or I was privy to the pipeline, I'd see things where I would say, hey, you guys need to do this, or I would put this in front of this. It would take forever for things to get done. This is not what we're seeing right now. We're seeing, they're quick, and they made some changes and then they took some back because people didn't like it. But the biggest one, to be honest with you, this video quality is significantly better. It's crisper. It used to have kind of a weird fuzzy outline. It just didn't have the frames per second was terrible. It's much better now. So I absolutely have seen a significant improvement in the product, and I'm happy to see that. So that was a setback for me too. It kind of like just took the wind out of my sails. And then they still wanted me to create content, but it just was different. I'm not bad mouthing StreamYard or the Bending Spoons team. In fact, I think Mateo, I have not spoken with him, but I can just tell he's very good at what he does. His communication in the StreamYard group's been fantastic. The videos he's created have been great. I want to help him with his Yeti technique microphone. But now there's somebody else I think that's coming in that's going to be creating more of that stuff. But anyway, what I'm seeing right now looks great. I think this new team that they've put in, the team that maybe originally was there with Bending Spoons, maybe not so great. Honestly, there was zero communication. None, not even in the group. And then now there's a lot better communication. Things seem to be getting better. So I'm happy to see that. So Lawrence says he went to Ecamm for his podcast and OBS for his in real life live streams. Okay, good to know. Marianne said the price hike and lack of support and lost all StreamYard personalities like you. Yeah, it was a big change. It was it was just different, and I don't know. They've not reached out to me yet. I wanted to kind of get this going and whatnot. And I just want to reach out to them and tell them I think they're doing a great job. And the tool, I'm glad the tool still works great. So I'm excited about it. Yeah. Lawrence said the support under Hopin was great. Total change with Bending Spoon. Yeah. It seems that things are better though. Robin said the StreamYard multi-aspect ratio streaming has me interested. Ooh, yes, I agree. Now, everybody seems to be coming out with this. I think Ecamm is beta testing it. I don't know about EVMux. I heard that Riverside, last night I was watching James Hicks, he was talking about all this, and he was saying it's not in Riverside's pipeline or they're in their plans, but it's going to be. What she's referring to with multi-aspect streaming is you now have the option to select basically portrait mode or landscape mode. I'm in landscape mode. And if you do you can also do a hybrid where it will push out two streams. It'll do if I'm on my phone, it's going to show me the portrait mode version, right? If I'm on my computer, it's going to present to me the landscape version. And the downside that I think is there still with the portrait version, I think, because I saw Mateo doing the stream in multi-aspect, is that it's not dynamic. And what I mean by dynamic is if I were in portrait mode right now, it would be cutting off Robin's comment. I'm pretty sure it still cuts off comments. I know it cuts off banners. It seems like it still cuts off banners. So they need to do some additional development. They need to make sure that these things like the banners and the comments are in their own layer that can basically be just like a website. It needs to be mobily optimized so that when you go to a website now, if you're on your computer, you see it one way, but then when you go on your phone, it moves everything around. It changes it so it's mobily optimized. Remember a long time ago when phones were kind of brand new and we would go to a website and you had to like move around the website with the phone? Now it's all mobily optimized. You don't have to do that. That's basically the same thing. So, yeah. Let's see. Okay, yeah. So Lawrence said that it is in beta. I think it was him. Maybe it was Marianne. I don't know. I just saw that. I thought I did. Let's see. Lawrence says the day dual aspect is released in Ecamm, I'm going to have to take a day off work. That's one thing I will say. I do think that Ecamm, OBS, they're amazing platforms, but they are just not as plug and play. They're just not quite as plug and play. And y'all, I love tinkering. I love playing with it. I like OBS. And like I said, I am going to strip my OBS down because there are some convenience factors by using OBS and then using the virtual camera and pushing it into StreamYard that I like. But I love the plug and play of StreamYard. And the other thing that I like, and this is one thing I love about StreamYard that I didn't like about EVMux, is I can do stuff on the fly. So I can do stuff on the fly with StreamYard. I can have StreamYard open in multiple browsers. You can't do that with EVMux. I found EVMux to be a little less friendly with, ooh, I need to upload that overlay really quick, or ooh, I need to do this really quick. I just didn't find it quite as, as user friendly with stuff like that. That's maybe just because there's stuff there that is more complicated and whatnot. I will say too that one thing that StreamYard added that I've not dabbled with is scenes. I love though that they let you minimize the scenes, because you know what? Not everybody wants to deal with scenes and mess with it. Then if that's the case, why should I have to look at that panel? I think they've done an amazing job with the interface by letting us minimize certain things. The one thing I'll say that they still need to do, which I'm pretty sure is still not a thing. Oh, what is this? Okay, wait a minute. What is this? Okay, I'm show comments on stage. Regular, tall, wide, small, oh my goodness. What? Okay, hold on a second. Is that different? It's not different. It's the same. We got font sizes it's the same. It looks the same. Show comments. Oh, I know what that is. That's this. I don't love it. I'm sorry. I want to love it. I just don't think I do. How do you guys feel about this? How do you guys feel about this? Tall, regular, tall. I want to know what you guys think. I mean, I can see some benefits to it. Man, I used to hate this idea because, Restream, I think, was the first one that came out with it, where they would let you do this. And I was like, that's a bad idea. I was like, that's a terrible idea. I hate it, because what if people start spamming you and it's all right there on screen? Like but you know what? It's all right there anyway, isn't it? It's all right there anyway. So I guess I kind of like it. Oh, okay. I mean, it's kind of cool, isn't it? It's kind of cool. Yeah, Mira said, I think gamers like that. It's kind of neat. I'm having a moment here, guys. Like, I'm having a moment, because I honestly, when Restream had this a long time ago, I was like, that's a terrible idea. And there was the most like experts. That's kind of what they said. Most people said, that's a bad idea. Don't do it. I mean, I kind of love it right now, because one of the things, this is a good pace. I think when your comments are going crazy, it's pointless. People can't read it. You can't read it either. But this is kind of nice because it's all right here. You guys can, I will say that sometimes it's not very user friendly to have the comments when you're watching. Now, when you watch on, I noticed this today. I was saying about this today. When I was watching Dee and Nick on my TV today, you can't see the comments. I had to have my phone up too to read the comments. And so if this were going on, if this was on the screen, I would have been able to see the comments. So let's see. Robin says, Lawrence says, I've never been a fan of the chat window in screen, but it might be my age. That's great. Maybe it's mine too. I don't know. I'm 45. I turned 45 last year. I feel great. I feel fine with 45. I'm happy to be 45. I don't have a problem with it. Let's see. Robin's Egg Blue Creation, she said, I think if you have a community that interacts with each other, I think it's great. For me, I only have 2 to 3 live viewers, so there isn't much interaction. Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. Marianne says, I know some viewers love seeing their name on the screen, so it would be good for that. Marianne makes a really great point, and this is the whole reason why I fell in love with StreamYard. Now, I will say the original was BeLive TV. Do you guys remember BeLive TV? I think it's just called BeLive now. Is it even still around? I think it is. BeLive, I used BeLive because of this right here. They came out with the display comment on screen. That was their innovation. That was their thing. StreamYard definitely copycatted. I mean, everybody copycats everybody. They copycatted the concepts. They made a better platform, way better, way more stable, way better community, way better team, just beyond better than Be Live TV. I will say that. But this was it. And one of the reasons I loved this feature was because of what Marian just said. When you show that comment on screen, people love to see that you're giving them the stage, right? And they love it. It's like, and you know what? When people see that you do that, if they don't want you to do that, they're not going to comment, and that's okay too. That's the 4th time I've hit my microphone. But she's right. It's kind of a different version of that. So it might make people more likely to comment. Now, it could make people less likely to comment too, of course, right? But I think it's going to make people more likely to comment. Now, some streams, like I said, wouldn't be able to do this because of the speed. Now, the other thing I will say I don't love is I wish it went a little higher on the screen. So we have a regular, we have wide, which covers my face. I could see this being valuable in certain types of streams. I like the tall and on the side. The small font shows more, but it's very small. It's probably really small for those of you watching on your phone. Medium is okay, but it only shows, a few comments at a time, which I guess is okay. So I like medium and I like tall. So yeah. Now that I don't know, I need to get acclimated with where the features are. So I used to get StreamYard for free because I was a creative partner, right? It was amazing. Now I pay for it. And I'm on the first tiered program. I don't know. I'm on the first level of pay. So I'm not in the higher level. So I'm assuming this is a feature that's a paid feature, for sure. I would guess, but anyway, let's see. Robin said, I'm usually so busy creating that I forget that I can display the comments. Got to work on my streaming skills this year. So that is definitely something that hands-on streamers, you definitely have that. I do think this is why gamers like the the chat on the stream, because they can be gaming and it's right and it's there. They don't have to worry about, they can just look over and see it right there, and they know that everybody's seeing each other's stuff. So yeah, I think that Robin, that would be something I would think about, is having a chat overlay allows you to always have it there. And it might, Robin, it might actually foster more engagement. It might actually foster more. Mr. Hicks is in the house. What's up, my friend? I will say James is one of my very, very good, we call, as we say, online friends or whatever. But James and I have met in person. We are he's such a delight in my life. And I will tell you, he did a live hangout last night, and I was watching his live while I was trying to get through this situation and figure it out. So it was actually really cool because he's live streaming. He's actually he's working on a app that he's trying to build using AI, and it's really cool. In fact, it would be useful for any of you that have a YouTube channel. And we got to come up with a better name. We're coming up with a name for it. But he just was vibing, playing music and vibing. James, I had music playing earlier, but I had some wonky issues. So I turned it off for a minute. But yeah, he's watching the game. Yeah, get on there. That's all good. But basically, I was like, you know what? That's what I love to do. And I was just like, I'm just going to go live and just basically vibe out with y'all. If you're here, you're here. It's freaking Saturday night. Like, most people are either busy, relaxing, and like he's watching a game, you're chilling, or you're maybe out to dinner or whatever. And yeah, believe me, I mean, my weekends are a lot quieter than they used to be, except for the fact that my 16-year-old daughter likes to have all her friends come over, and that's always a lot of fun. And I'd rather than be here than somewhere else. But so yes, a lot of my weekends are her she's actually got 2 of her friends upstairs right now. But I mean, sometimes there's a house full of teenage boys and girls in my house. The other night they played hide and go seek. We turned all the lights out, like every light in the house. And I have a lot of cool kind of up lights and things. We turned everything off, and we turned all of the echo devices on, and they had me play creepy music. And they weren't allowed to use their phones for flashlights. It was hilarious. So that's been a lot of fun. So anyway, but Yeah. So Marianne says Sunday afternoon for me planning my new week. Yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah, you're on a whole different time zone over there. So you're got your Sunday going. We've got a long weekend. I've got a busy weekend, but yeah. Okay, what was I gonna work on next? I think I'm okay with the chat overlay. I really never thought I would be okay with it, but I'm okay with it right now in this moment. Anyway, what we were talking about was the environment, right? So this space is very large. I don't know exactly what I want to do as far as background and things. Right now, I just have, it's very basic. The walls are like prison gray. They are just gray walls. They're just a light gray. They're not even like what I would call a warm gray or a green gray or a beige gray. They're just like gray. I mean, like gray. Like if I were talking Pantone colors, I'd say like a cool 9, gray, cool 9 gray or whatever it is. And so they're just boring. But I have the lights back there that I can change the colors on. I can make them blue if I want. I can make them pink, which I think looks... It's funny because if you watch my skin tone, I feel like changes significantly when you change the background. And I kind of like the pink, but the pink is really pink. But we'll just sit with that for a minute, I guess. But yeah, that's okay. So that's so funny, Marianne. I was thinking the same thing. I kind of I like the design of it. Like I like the design. It's kind of cool. Oh, speaking of, I don't have my logo displayed, but I moved my logo over to the other side. Over there, I guess is what I really mean. So I moved it over there, because you can now change it if you want. So that's one thing that's kind of cool too, is that StreamYard's given us more controls on a QR code. What is that? Oh my goodness. I've got so much to figure out. I do love the intro and outro video. That was a huge thing. I did know that was there. You can now upload an intro video and you can upload an outro video. And when you go to close your stream, you can make it so it plays an outro. Like, awesome. Awesome. That's an awesome feature. Love that feature. The background music, they've got the built-in background music. I really wish they would update those because all of those songs are pretty corny. Just saying, but whatever. And they've got sound effects now. Super cool. That was a gong. I couldn't hear it. I wonder why I couldn't hear it. Oh, because I have my output different. But there's a lot of stuff here there's that background generator now. It also they uploaded overlays. This was really cool too. When you go into more, you can add, what do we got here? We got Be Right Back. Yeah, that's cute. But they also have the Be Right Back screens, which I thought were good, but they're also just really basic designs. But this is interesting. So this is I think I got to turn off the comment. See, this is, okay, I was getting ready to get at this. I got distracted, didn't I? So the overlays are interesting. They have these built-ins now that automatic ones they've got in here, like this one. Oh, that's cute, I guess. It's okay. They're there. I like it. I like that they have stuff there in case you need it. That is actually something that's interesting about EVMux. And I haven't logged into EVMux in forever, but like they had all kinds of pre-built stuff. Some of it was pretty cool. Some of it was a little corny. But Manny's Fragrances, what's up? Good to see you here. Still using for StreamYard. Yes. So basically, I'm back to dabbling with stuff. And yes, I'm using StreamYard. I'm actually using Firefox as well, just so you know. See you, Sharon. Thanks for joining us. It's great to see you. Enjoy that dinner up there in Canada. But I have had some tech issues and I discovered some stuff. So it's been a long story. You don't really care to hear it. But yeah, I'm using StreamYard and I think it's still great. I actually really like it. And like predicted, everybody else followed suit and raised all their prices. So, it's pretty much they were just like wanting to, and I think my biggest issues with StreamYard is when they raise their prices, I didn't feel like they had made changes in the product. It felt a little bit like the cart before the horse. And I also felt like their communication was god awful. I thought it was really bad. I thought they did a terrible job of preparing the community, preparing their user base, what was happening and what was in the roadmap. like, hey, we're doubling our price and here's what you're going to get here for it. It was really weak. But I personally believe that they have completely made a great pivot. The new people that are communicating, I think Mateo seems amazing. They've done a really nice job of pushing updates and pushing features that make sense. And they've improved the video output quality. So I'm very happy to see that StreamYard caught up to their pricing. And now I do believe that everybody else has essentially done the same thing. And so there you go. That's my thought. But I love StreamYard. I think StreamYard is great. So he was like, "Oh, you still using StreamYard?" Here we are. So, and I'm getting used to this. I've always hated this before. I hated the idea of this. But I turned it on tonight and I was like, I kind of like it. I'm kind of loving it. In fact, it helped me see you, because that was actually where I was going. My God, when I first started talking about this, the one thing I still don't see that I really wish StreamYard would be able to figure out is I wish they could set up the interface in the studio so that the comments is its own section that stays. It doesn't go away. Right now, if you want to go to comments and then you want to go to your overlays, you have to go completely away from your comments. I hate that. I think they've got to come up with a way inside of this studio to make it so that comments are always visible in the studio. Not necessarily like this, but they are always right there. They've got to figure that out. I have been saying that for 3+ years. The starred comments was something I chirped at them about for 2 years, and they finally did that. But they've got to figure out a way so that the comments can always be visible to you in the stream, in the studio, so that you can be clicking on your overlays, changing your music, hitting your sound effects if you want, but you can always see what your community is saying to you. I will preach that till the end. It's so key. It's so key. Why would that not be a thing? I'm sure it's difficult, which is why. But if they can add scenes in its own little thing, why can't we add comments in its own little thing? So I just see, to me, it feels possible. I remember talking to Dan Engage, and Dan was like, "Yeah, there's only so much real estate inside the studio." And I'm like, I get that, but this seems important. So I know that it can be done, and there's probably, believe me, none of this is easy. I get that too. I'm not saying like, just do it, guys. Like, I know it's not that simple. Lauren says, yeah, you need to be able to see them. Okay. All right. So back to this. I think that I'm going to paint these walls. I feel like I really want to set up my other camera really quick. I don't think it would take very long, so that I can kind of do one of these really fast so you guys can see what we got working with. Because I don't want to mess with using my phone, because I honestly haven't logged into StreamYard on my phone and I don't want to deal with that. It'll take forever. Speaking of, do I have any? Wait, what? I don't know. So basically, I wanted to just kind of give you a lay of the land, because it is a large room. I have a lot of angles I could use, but I also have a doorway over there that goes to the other section of the basement, which is actually where we have a TV and a ping pong table and stuff. And then there's the utility room, which is crazy because I can hear it and you guys can't hear it. I guarantee it, almost, unless you are like using some noise canceling, headphones. That's what I love about noise cancellation on this stuff. It's amazing how far technology has come, especially with audio. But that's over there on the other side of that wall behind a door. And then there's just crap everywhere. There's like, I have a Peloton right there. God, that hasn't been used in forever. I hope it still works. I got a printer on a thing. I've got junk. I've got the tripods, because I'm just like getting everything out, because I'm going to be going through everything. I was making a joke with James today. I texted him and I said, hey, we should do some like live kind of hangouts together. I said, maybe like we could do one where you're like showing me and teaching me stuff, and I'm like doing it, and we're listening to music at the same time. We're just kind of vibing together. And he's like, yeah, that'd be fun. And then I said, we could also do a stream that's basically like, should Mel keep it? I said, we could go through all of my crap that I have, because I have so much crap. I have 3 Stream Decks. Why do I have 3 Stream Decks, you guys? Do I use 3 Stream Decks? Absolutely not. I have a Cam Link. I got a Rode X streamer a Streamer X that I'm using now with an XLR input. Am I using an XLR microphone? No, I have one down there though, with all the cables that are over there. Am I going to use an XLR microphone? I don't know. Not sure. I got tripods. I got lights. Oh man, I got so much crap. I got webcams. I got all the things. Yes, this is going to be the space. So now that the internet does work and I got that mesh system, the signal down here is strong enough. And this is just a big room that doesn't get used for anything else. And I can do all, I mean, it's big. I could have like a cool, like pre-recorded video set up over there. Oh my God, y'all, there's a little spider web right here. That's the cobweb. That says everything you need to know. That there were cobwebs on my camera because it's been sitting here unused. Guys, can we just have a moment of silence for that? My Lord. Not anymore. Not anymore. Okay. So, yeah. So anyway, I'm going to plug in the lava lamp because Robin called it out and I think it's time. Are you guys still here? Marianne, are you still here? Because we need some of the OGs. I need to make sure some of my OGs are here when I plug in the lava lamp because that's pretty significant. I think it is, at least. Okay. Plug this bad boy in. I need a plug. Back in business. Okay. All right, the lava lamp is back. It's back. Oh my gosh. If I hit this microphone, yay. Robin said, it's on. Turn it on. Lava lamp. Yes, lava lamp is definitely not going anywhere. I actually still want to incorporate more of the lava lamp in the branding. I was looking at some of that today. So like I always loved this kind of imagery. I'm going to play a couple. Exists, but maybe not so pixely because I think it was just because it was an old file. And then there's this. I just like the fun lava lamp stuff. Like, and then there's that one, you know. These don't have any sound, so those don't have, that doesn't mute me out. But anyway. All right, I brought this stuff down. Where did I put the cables? Is that them over there? Yeah, because if I'm gonna plug this in, and then if I do, then we will be able to. Will we? No, because I don't have a dual. No, we won't be able to. Well, maybe. I don't know. What I might do instead is just actually, I'm thinking out loud here for a sec. Little kinetic energy. Yes, exactly. Let me think for a minute. How could I do this easily without... What I don't want to do is break anything I don't want to break my stream. Let me think about this for a moment because I have the streamer. This is why, by the way, I told myself, I'm not allowed to buy anything until I do this a little bit for a while. I want to do this a bit, kind of just, you know, commit to it. But I used to have, well, I still have it. Back to should Mel keep it. The A10 Mini, the Blackmagic A10 Mini, freaking loved that thing. In fact, I could technically use it because the only reason I stopped using it as a piece of gear is because I started creating pre-recorded videos, especially for StreamYard. I started creating a lot of content for them for their YouTube channel. And those needed to be higher quality because the Blackmagic A10 Mini only outputs 1080, which StreamYard only outputs 1080. So that was always fine. But when I started doing the pre-recorded videos, I wanted to get that 4K quality. And so I was like, well, I don't want to have to unhook everything and rehook everything. So I basically I took out the A10 Mini from my stack, but I loved it because you could hook up, I had like regular USB webcams hooked to it. I had my Cam Link plugged in to the A10 Mini, and with just when I had one DSLR camera, and it was great. It was perfect. It was when I had like the little background camera. It was a very scrappy setup, but it was also pretty awesome, and it was fun. I had two webcams. I had like my old Logitech C920 behind me, and it was kind of like the behind the scenes cam. Then I had my Brio like off to the side, and then I had the DSLR in front of me, and I could just push the buttons and switch those cameras, and it was freaking great. You can do the same thing if you use OBS. OBS, you just set up scenes. Oh my God, why am I saying that? You can do the same thing inside StreamYard now because it has scenes. Haven't figured those out yet. I will. Give me some time. A little overwhelming at the moment. And then you can just toggle between them. But you have to have the right setups. And so if I want to set that camera up, I can plug this into my computer, and then I can just add it as a second webcam. I can't. See, I just needed to talk through that for a moment. My gosh. See, when you're out of it, you're not as quick. That was one thing I always took a lot of pride on. Is I was always very quick. I could be on my toes because the more you do it, the more you know you can think through things and you know what you can do and what you can't. Just like earlier, the audio thing, I was like, ooh, what's broken here? Something's not right. It would have been such an easy fix earlier if I would just, you get into the flow and you get into the zone and you got your mojo back, right? It's kind of like you just have your mojo back, and I got to get the mojo back before I buy any gear. And where I was going with this is that I think Rode has come out with I would call it a competitor to what those Blackmagic ATEMs are. Now, the reason I hold back on that and I don't want to buy it is because I cannot believe, I am shocked that Elgato has still not come out with a competitive product for that. When they came out with the alternative add-ons to the Stream Deck Pluses, which clearly those were intended. When they came out with the XLR one, so you could plug in an XLR mic to it, and then the other one, which was a docking station, so you had more outputs, which is the one I'm using here. I literally was like, oh, you know what's next is one that has a video switcher. Like, that's next. When Rode, when this Streamer X came out, the Rode Streamer X, I literally was like, this is such an amazing piece of equipment, and it would be everyone's solution if it had a second camera input. I think they missed the mark on that one, personally. Now they've come out with this like Streamer S or whatever. I don't know. I don't know what it's called. The video caster. I don't know what it's called. I don't want to look it up either because I don't want to get distracted. But I think that's basically what it does. But I don't want to buy it because I pretty much have Elgato just about everything. And that is the thing about the Rode X that I have, the Streamer X, is that it could absolutely replace that Wavelength software too, because Rode has the same software. But I love this Elgato Wave 3 microphone, and that is the whole Wave. Anyway, so the challenges with people like me is that I love the tech. I love the gear. I like playing with the gear. I like playing with the software. But the problem with all of that is that, one, it's expensive, and two, it complicates things. You're always in learning mode and you're experimenting, which is good and can be fine. But it's one of those things where I'm like, this isn't I'm not making money doing this anymore. Like, I used to make money doing this. I used to have courses that helped people. This is not a revenue stream for me right now. So until I get to a point where that might be happening again, like it's maybe a little side hustle, I don't want to just be putting money into it. It's a hobby. It's a thing I like to do. I love doing it and I enjoy it. And I want to keep enjoying it. And so it's like, but I got to be careful, right? Not to buy too many things. So I think I'm going to plug this in really quick. I'm going to get this I'm going to see if I can get this camera added as a second webcam in StreamYard. And then I'm going to give you guys a quick view at what we got going on here. So that's what I'm going to do. While I do that, let me just get the music going again. I don't know what those girls are doing upstairs, but they're running around. They're like 16, and I swear to God, sometimes they act like they're 5. Like they're just like toddlers running around playing, screaming, and doing stuff. Tell me if there's any weird audio issues, please, if you don't mind. got our HDMI Mini, which goes into the camera, right? Oh, I don't have it yet. There we go. That goes into the camera. And then we got the HDMI on the other side. Goes into the cam link. Fantastic. Whew. Is that better? Isn't that better? See, when there's music, when I'm like doing stuff. And then we've got our plug-in to the dummy battery, which is plugged into the camera. I just have the dummy battery unplugged. Gotta get these cables. By the way, the cables, I'll show you the cables. I don't do cable management until I know where the heck I want everything set up. And it's a mess in here. Y'all, it's a mess in this place. But it's all just boring. And I'll show you in a minute. There's overhead track lights. That is lighting up my hair. I can turn those off and it makes all this glow better, but then it makes me darker and I don't love that look. So I think I'm gonna come up with a way to keep one of them on and maybe make the other one color and shine. Because, you know, I know a lot of people are getting rid of the whole colored lights. I still like it. I'm not sure if I'll stick with it the same way, but yeah, because I didn't minimize it. Thank you, Marianne. There, that's probably a lot better if I'm going to be talking. Thank you. So basically, I don't know what I want to do. Like, I like plants. My whole house is full of plants. My house, you guys, I'm very proud of my house. I've worked very hard on it. I've put money into it. I put a lot of sweat equity into it. And it's just beautiful up there. And I have a lot of house plants. Addie's always making fun of me and telling me we have too many plants. And if I buy any more plants, we're going to have a jungle. But plants are amazing. I love plants. Michael Daniels, what's up? Speaking of tinkering, we are tinkering tonight. We're just kind of getting back. It's the awkward comeback of 2026. That's what I'm calling it. So yeah, I guarantee Michael Daniels, all that stuff I was talking about earlier with like encoders and browsers and all that shit, I guarantee Michael knows everything I was talking about because he's really geeky like that. All right, let me plug in this camera so that we can fire it up. The issue I'm gonna have, this cable's not very long. Okay. I'm gonna carefully take this off. Say hi. Of my feet? Yes.
Just say corny.
All the pictures.
Listen, he said this first.
Oh.
And then I said, what do you even say?
You gotta get on the thing. Say hi.
I don't want to.
Oh gosh. She's gotten shy in her old age, but she's gotten even more gorgeous in her old age too. Is he on? Her friends are stalking my old Facebook stuff and they're putting it in their group chat. I don't know why you won't let me. Well, you just come and say hi for a minute. Did I just see wires in your mouth? Yes, you did. You did, Mr. Hicks. You saw wires in my mouth. I had that in my mouth because I was, oh my gosh, it's gonna want me to set the camera up, you guys. That's how long it's been. Bye. Peace out. Thanks. I can hear you guys running around. What are you guys doing up there? Making a video. Yeah, they're not making this kind of video, are they? Making TikToks. All right, let's see. Apparently, I haven't had this camera on in so long, it's making me go through this. process. So try to bypass it though. Yes, yes. We're done. Let's do that. Oh, come on. Oh, we're in business. All right. Let's see. Unfortunately, my HDMI cable is not super long. Yeah, what games you watching? I'm guessing NFL. Who plays tonight? Oh my gosh, I don't even know. Oh, yeah, I just got a follow request. Her buddy's following me. And 2 of them are. Oh, lordy. It's a good thing they don't know I'm streaming over here. Okay, that is the challenge. Do you guys have kids? I will say, I have held back quite a bit of what I would normally put out there because, you know, a lot of Addie's in high school, and first of all, some kids are real assholes, and they'll look at stuff and they'll find whatever they can to tease somebody and make fun of them, and I'm like, dang, I got to be careful what I put out there because I don't want them to use it. Like right now, they're looking at my old stuff and they're putting in their group chat. So now these are good kids. They're nice and they're fun. And they're probably going to make fun of me, but that's okay. I can make fun of them too. But there are some not so nice kids out there. So I'm sure they're going to find stuff and whatever. But do you guys run into that? Do you have any apprehensions at all when it comes to when you have kids and they're in high school or whatnot? Like you're a little more sensitive to what you put out there for you, not only just of yourself, but even of them, of course. Kind of one of those things. They're cooking something. I don't know what they're making up there, but I smell it. Oh my gosh, teenagers. Okay, focus. No, focus. We are going to add media, extra camera. Oh, I got to pay for that? Oh, guys, I got to be in the paid. All right, we're going to upgrade. I'm going to do it right now. I bet it won't work while we're streaming. I bet it won't work. I'm going to downgrade though. Return to dashboard. Okay, we're upgraded. How much you want to bet it's not going to work while we're live? Oh, you guys, so good. It did. Look at that. All right, let's see. Watch, it won't work. It is going to work. Okay, cool. All right. Okay, so let's see here. I'm going to just stick that like that. All right, let's see. Ooh, I love that second camera. What a game changer. You know, that is actually kind of what put me on the map, you guys, was the, man, I thought I had this set. Let me do a quick custom scene. Oop, not that one. I want to do, here we go. I want to do this one, but I want to edit this because I want to move that. Now that we got this chat overlay going on, right? Let me do this. Okay. Save. Update. Yes. Okay. All right. Let's do that. Man, you know, the second camera was kind of a pretty big deal when it came to, the second camera was a big deal, and it kind of put me on the map a little bit, to be honest with you, because I created a video that helped people hack a way to do 2 cameras by opening 2 browsers. And then now it's just so easy. Let me move that logo if you don't mind real quick. Swap that over there. All right. Okay, so here's the deal. The audio is going to be challenging because I don't have a lav mic on. I thought about hooking one up. I have one, but again, we're making a list, aren't we? Lav mic with stream. Okay. Yes. Lawrence says, luckily my content aligns with my kids. That's actually very true. For now, it does. For now, my friend, you never know. Marianne says, yeah, I'm very mindful what I share about my 18-year-old as his friends sometimes watch bits of my videos. Yeah. So, okay. Let me just give you guys a quick look. All right. Let me try to do this. I'm actually going to try to stay within audio, and I'm going to do this kind of slowly because this is I don't want to make anybody dizzy. Oh boy, they're all following me now. I'm literally I almost want to turn my stuff. All right, so here we go. That's the setup that we got right there. That's tell you what, why don't we make this a little easier? Why don't I pause that music so you guys can hear me even better. I'm actually gonna raise this up. Okay, hold on. Sorry. So sorry, guys. Let me do this. Okay, this might be a little bit better. All right, so basically this is the desk. I'm gonna move back as far as I can without unhooking this thing. So you got my 2 monitors, microphone, kind of a mess over there. That's the corner. Okay, this is the crazy corner. That is the utility closet. That whole wall behind there's 2 furnaces. There's 2 HVA units, bunch of storage, Christmas decorations. It's actually quite loud, and I don't think you guys can hear it because the noise cancellation is so great. We got some track lighting up there, some 1990s style decor. Okay, it's really trying to focus there. That's like a little stage. There used to be a spiral staircase that went upstairs here, apparently. This was before my time in the house. And that platform is there so that the egress window is like legal. That's just some junk of mine. And then behind the tarp looking thing, that is actually a old neon sign that says Jack's Camera Shop. In fact, the picture right there next to it, my great uncle Jack took those photos. That's my grandmother when she was like 17, 16. And he owned a camera shop. He founded and started a camera shop in town, which was really successful. And they just closed this camera shop like 5 years ago. He sold it back in the day, way back in the day. So it was run in the 80s and 90s and 2000s by somebody completely different. But anyways, my great uncle Jack, and that neon sign used to be on the building. So I have that neon sign, but I got to find somebody that can make it do something. I don't know. And then, so this is what's behind me. It's really just storage of crap, as you can see. So I've got some extra lights down there. I've got some cables. There's the old OBS spot webcam, the stream decks. Yeah, got a plant hanging out there, fake plant. We got some trim and molding that needs reinstalled. But up here, again, there's some track lighting that's above me. Okay, let me get you acclimated really quick. I'm trying to go really slow here. So back on scene over here, you see me over here? Hi. That track lighting is right above me. And I think it can actually do some really cool things. So let me go above now. Try to get above my monitor. Okay, so that's what's on the other side of my desk. We got a whiteboard here. The kids like to write me notes when they come down. So that's just a corner of junk. That's just some hardware stuff because I got to mount the TV in the other room. That's the other room. That's like our actual downstairs living room. This is going to blur out on me. And then there's just that whole corner over there. So like tons of space. Tons of space. Whoa. Okay. That's just going to be annoying. So let me get this. Let me get that fixed. Okay. All right. Now you all see it, right? So that was fun, wasn't it? Okay, let me get this mic back adjusted. Okay, so now you get the idea, right? So I've got these 2 big spotlights back here just shining. That will drastically, the color of reflection will drastically change if I paint that wall a different color. And so I'm thinking about going with the dark gray to get the better reflection in there. And yeah, so Lawrence's like, yeah, you could have a couple different setups. I could literally have a corner for live streaming, and I could have another corner that's like studio mode for like pre-recording. I could put a chair, like whatever. I actually think though, it's so easy to do pre-recorded videos, you guys, with this. So easy. So easy. That I'm just gonna, I've got everything I need. So I think I'm just going to do that. I'm going to use that. I just sit in there and do it in that room in there. I mean, I don't need to go crazy, right? I'm not a full-time content creator. If I were a full-time content creator, you bet your butt I'd have like a video podcast corner, I'd have a streaming corner and whatever. And I may still do that. I miss the podcast. I think podcasting has changed a lot, but I really miss that format a lot. And now I think I might think about it again. There's a lot of ideas, and that we all are seeing what so many people are doing. It's like, how do you know what to do, right? It's kind of one of those things. And if you've been like me and you've stepped back for a while, this is something that This is what I'm seeing, is that a lot of people, I think, are struggling to reappear, come back, if you will, because things have changed a lot. The game's changed, like the marketing strategies have changed, and we have to evolve. And when you get out of practice for a while, it's hard to jump back in and kind of know what you're doing. It's easy to jump back in and do it just like you were, but that isn't going to work anymore. And so it just kind of depends on what you want to do. So I don't have any major goals. My goal is to get back to doing this more often. That is literally my only goal right now. And so I want to be able to have a moment hit me, like a moment of just inspiration, or something happened and I want to go live and I want to talk about it. And I want to be like, hey guys, I was just talking to somebody and here's what I was thinking, and yada, yada, yada. And, I don't know. I just, I want to be able to be active enough so that I can come in here and give you a message when I feel it hit. I can't tell you how many times, I'll be on a walk or doing something and I'll have these like thoughts and I'm just like, man, if it were 2 years ago, I'd be recording a video about that and publishing it, or I'd be digesting those thoughts and getting a podcast episode published for it. So, and I just want to be able to do that again. I want to get back to it and I want to be able to do it again. So that's my main objective, is to just get back into doing this. I don't have like a revenue goal. I don't have any of that at all. Would I like to make money doing this? Would I like to get paid? Yeah. But I also have a really important job that pays the bills and more, and I'm happy with it and I love it. And it's very consuming, like I said earlier. So, I want to layer that in even. So I actually was thinking about this. Robin said, I could fill that room with so many craft supplies in that room. Yeah, she'd be loving it. I saw a comment earlier. Oh, Robin said, lucky you, I kill plants. My husband bought me Lego plants so they will survive. That's actually really cute. I used to kill plants. My current trick, I've kept plants alive for a few years now, and so I've added more. I water them once a week. That's it. Now I have my herbs, like I have basil and some rosemary in my window in my kitchen. Those require more frequent watering, but like the actual house plants, every Sunday, a little bit of fertilizer and water. It's working so far. I have a particular type of plant that is actually pretty difficult. And I'm having a hard time with that one. So I did just, I think, kill my first plant in a long time, but I think it's just because this plant requires like the different things, like it requires a pH balanced soil and other things. Y'all, I'm not getting into that. I am not doing that. I'm sorry. It's going to get potting mix and water and fertilizer. It's not getting like a mix of this and 20% moss and then the pH balance. So you got to put the acid, a certain type of acidic, whatever in there. That's not happening. No way. I know myself. That is not happening. Mary said, yes, I would love my own room. I know I'm very lucky to have my own space down here, because before I was upstairs and it was like in the main house and it worked. It was fine. But this is definitely better. Addie can be up there having fun with her friends, and I'm down here doing this. Okay, so the environment. The environment is huge. I got to decide what I want to do with my camera angles. I got to decide, what do I want the background to look like? That's the first step. And then I need to determine camera angles. Now, I am planning on having 2 cameras set up like I used to quite a bit ago. I kind of got out of practice of using the second camera, but I think the second camera is, James was streaming last night and he even used the second camera a couple times, and it's easy to forget it's there. So like when you're talking, it's like, okay, what's the point? I would never click on it anyway. But I like the second camera angle. I actually just think that it adds interest. And I always liked having that behind the scenes camera. So I would really like to get back to 2 main cameras and then a sort of point of view camera, which is just like a behind me, so you see what I'm looking at. James, you used to have, I don't think he's watching because he's watching the football game. He used to have that set up too, and it was really cool, and I really loved it. And he has simplified all of his stuff as well. That's another trend I'm seeing. Even Tom Buck is like he just put something out the other day talking about how he's just simplifying. He had all this gear, he had all this stuff, he moved his desk against the wall. Like, he just wanted to simplify everything. And I'm like, I feel that. Like, I get it. Like, believe me, I love all this stuff. And I had the big Stream Deck, and then I had the Stream Deck Plus, and I was like, I don't even use all these buttons. I don't use enough buttons. I think that, yes, there's a lot to learn when it comes to the Stream Deck and what it can do for you, but I just didn't feel like I was really using it enough. So, with that being said, I don't know. I got to set some goals. I think that's important when you have a setup. Luria Petrucci always taught this really well. She's like, stand back and decide what you want. Like, what do you want? Then you can discover what you need. And then you can kind of come up with a little bit of a blueprint, if you will, of what your stuff needs to be. Because if you don't have a plan, like if you don't have like a goal or a vision of what you want to be creating, then you may just buy a bunch of stuff and then you're overwhelmed with all the options and you don't use any of it. So it's sort of just like, it can be very easy to fall into the trap of like, oh, that's a really cool thing. Oh, that's a cool thing. Oh, yeah, that would be super cool to do. And you buy it and you end up like me where you've got 2 things that do the same thing. Technically, I have 3 things that do the exact same thing, just in their own different way. I don't need all those things. I could literally be like, you know what? I like this part of this. I love this part of that. And I like this part of that. The sacrifice would be to say, screw all that, pick one and just go all in with one. That would be simple. That's called simplification. And a lot of creators are starting to do that. I'm seeing that a lot. Really, if Elgato comes out with one of these Stream Deck Plus accessories that has multiple camera inputs, I'm out. I'm done. The Streamer X, it'll be a backup device for when I travel or when I go on the road. It will not be my main setup. I would totally be all in with that. Because it would be amazing. But I don't know if that's in their roadmap or not. It'd be awesome if it was. But yeah. Marianne said, I've gone overboard with cameras. Too many for what I really need. Is that really true though? Because Marianne, I feel like with what you do, you almost can't have too many. I think like you, Robin, 3 cameras. 3 cameras would be pretty awesome. You got, I think, an overhead camera because sometimes you have like physical products and physical things that you have out. Robin definitely does. I think Robin for sure. Top bird's eye view, face camera, even though Robin, I feel like you always said you never really put your face on camera because you always were showing your hands. Put that face on camera just so you could do like what I did. If I have my face in one window and then I'm showing you something else. Wide angle views, I think if you're doing anything physical, showing anything physical, having that wide angle view is just so awesome. I want to have a wide angle view back. I want to do it like I used to. I want to have it up above and just have it so that I can, when I'm getting set up or getting ready to start a stream or when I'm done with a stream, boom, go to that background view and you see like my whole setup and you just, that behind the scenes look. People love a behind the scenes and I think they still do. Marian, I have a feeling that you and I would be able to hang out together. I think we would hang out and have a pretty good time. I think we'd have a lot of fun. Okay, y'all, I actually would love to keep going, but it's kind of getting late, and I told myself I was gonna get some good sleep tonight and get up nice and early tomorrow and hit the ground running because I got kind of a really busy day. Unfortunately, I have an HOA meeting tomorrow night because I'm on the HOA board. How sexy is that, you guys? So yes, we have a board meeting tomorrow night and I have some work to do before I do that. And yes, bring back the bar. I like it. I definitely, I tend to be one of those people that just signs up for stuff and I get passionate about things. And so I'm on the HOA board of our neighborhood and it's interesting. So I got some stuff to get done tomorrow before that. I got to get a workout in. And all the fun stuff, and then hit the ground running Monday morning for sure. So, Lauren says, I was the president of my HOA for 5 years. I was glad to give that up. our president and our secretary, I looked at both of them. I said, I'll never do what you're doing ever. I will never be the secretary. Oh, treasurer too. I won't. That's too much work, too much responsibility. But I'm like the communications person, but I'm still a voting person on the board. But of course, I took over like, oh, I'll update the directory and I'll do this and I'll do that. So I got stuff to do, but it is what it is. We're just making the place better. It's a good place. I love it here. But y'all, I think that what I'm gonna do is take some notes. I'm gonna think about some stuff here. Hopefully by the time I go live next time, I'll have made some changes to just kind of, like I said, I want to get the camera set up. I want to absolutely figure out the lav mic because I do think I've got a few more like, what would I call this? Like, it's not really a behind the scenes. It's kind of like it's a little bit behind the scenes, right? Because I mean, here I am showing you my junk and my corners and all the things and the clutter and all that. Like, I think I still probably want to do a few of those, and I want to be able to have that lav mic so that you guys can still have good audio when I do it. So I think that I've got a few things in the future to set up here that I want to do, but I got to tell y'all, it's good. It's good. This is actually what I was going to say. I don't know when that next stream is going to be, but I want it to be sooner than later. It might be tomorrow. I mean, why not? This is the awkward comeback. There's no strategy. There doesn't need to be a strategy. And if somebody watches this and they're like, what the heck is this? I don't care. I literally don't care because there's no major goal here. The goal is to get back, to just get off, for lack of a better term, get off the couch. It's like when somebody decides and makes a decision that they would like to get their health back in order, lose weight, get back in shape, maybe even run like a 5K, okay? You have to get off the couch. You can't get off the couch and be worried that when you go outside, people are gonna wonder why you're not running. No one is actually gonna care. And if someone cares, you shouldn't care because your objective is to move. That is it. My objective right now is movement in this form. It is to get back. It is to just be acclimated, get used to this again, get the tech issues figured out, just get back. That's it. It's the awkward comeback. I'm calling it the awkward comeback because I don't know what the hell I'm gonna do. I don't know what I'm gonna talk about. It's going to be similar to what it was, but different. It's, you know me, you guys know what I'm passionate about. I'm passionate about helping you. I'm passionate about helping people, equip people, empower them. But what's crazy is most of the people watching and most of the people still tuning in, you're doing those things, right? So your level of what value you get from me might be a little different. And so I look at all of y'all as you're my friends, you're my supporters. I love y'all. I love supporting you. You're not going to care. This is the awkward comeback. So next time, it might be tomorrow. It might be tomorrow. I don't know what I'm going to do or talk about, but hey, we'll figure it out, right? That's what it's going to be. I'm not the teacher in this moment. I'm learning as well. So getting acclimated with all the new stuff. So Marion says, great to have you back, Mel. Guys, I got to tell you, I really am so happy to have gotten to the point where I could figure out what was wrong with the setup and to be back and to be able to create this content and be here with y'all. So really excited. Oh, Marianne, I will tell you, let me show it to you because it's a playlist in Epidemic Sound. So come on, I want to share. There we go. I had to give it permission again. If you go to Epidemic Sound and you go, if you're in the homepage, let me just go there. Homepage, this is what shows up for me. Featured playlists and themes. It's under creators picks and it's the lo-fi. This one right here, lo-fi introvert radio. That's the one you want. I really like this, guys, by the way, but it's a little too upbeat for this type of stream. Oh, look, there's my hand. Hi. See, I do love a good second angle because it just can be kind of fun. It's just so cool. So anyway, yeah, it's this one right here. Lo-fi introvert radio. That's what we're doing. So there you go. All right, y'all. As Robin said here, blessings to y'all in 2026. And great to have you back, Mel. Yeah, it's good to be back. I really appreciate it. So Tell you what, let's figure out how we're gonna close this out. Should I do an outro? Should I do my own outro? I think I'll just do my own outro, right? We don't care. That's the beauty of it all. I'm gonna exit with my fun video that I made 2 years ago that I didn't use enough because I made this cool video and then guess what? I stopped streaming. So that's what we're gonna do. Love you guys so much. Appreciate you guys. I want to say thank you with the bottom of my heart. You guys mean the world to me. So peace out. Until next time, might be tomorrow. I love you guys. See you later. Have a great rest of your weekend or start to your week like Marianne. See y'all.